everyone. My name is Marietta Compagnie, and I am joined with Brianna Collette. We're both with Movement Mortgage, and we have a great guest with us today. We are so honored to be joined with Kelly Moffatt. He is with Blue Sky Appraisals. He has been an appraiser for over 18 years. Is that true, Kelly?
Correct.
Excellent. He's also the owner of Blue Sky Appraisals, so we're fascinated with that. And just a little secret that some of you out there may not know, but he is married to one of our coworkers, Julie Moffatt. So there was a little bit of bribery involved in getting him here, but we managed to do that. So we do appreciate Julie's help in getting him here. So, hey, I'm just going to cut right to it and get to it today. So there are a ton of appraisal challenges out there, Kelly. We are hearing it from everybody. Is it, so just right up front, is it fair to say that here in the Front Range that on any given day, you can go from a very lower price condo right up to the $1 million castles all in one afternoon?
Absolutely, absolutely. And even some of them are in the same neighborhood. It really is quite a range here, you know, and so that gives a lot of people quite a range.
Perfect. So tell me, what is the state of appraisals today? You know, with sales kind of outpacing comps, tell me what's happening out there.
That's exactly it. The state of appraisals today with the market that we're in is uncommon to where we've usually been. Most appraisals now are trying to capture the current market. Most appraisals are coming in sometimes shy. You know, the term appraisal gap, we're seeing that more and more in contracts. And that's, you know, the realtor side, but the state of appraisals are, they're not keeping up with the sales. Appraisals are based upon historical data, and it's hard to capture the immediate instant market that we're in right now. So appraisals are slightly behind on the value. That's not a flaw. It's just how the design of appraisals works. It's based off historical data, not future or exactly at today's current. So appraisal gap, a term that you usually don't use, that's coming into almost every contract now.
Right. Well, let me ask you a question then. With that being in mind, do you, when you go out and you do an appraisal, do you want the realtors to show you like how many offers came in on a property?
I do. I personally do. You know, there's different types of appraisers that are out there. Some might be standoffish and just want to get it done quickly. I appreciate it. I like to see they have a little bit of vested interest, you know, even if they're only there for the 10 minutes at the beginning and they just let me in and do it. I like to see it. There's not a place on the appraisal where I can put in that, hey, there were 6 other offers. One was a cash offer at X amount. One was a higher offer at a full conventional. There's not a place to put that. But like I said, when we're doing the appraisal, it helps us capture more of the current market. I mean, exactly where we are today or in the last week with all those offers. And so it helps the appraiser see the market that it's at, as opposed to my comps, and my comps could be 60 days, 90 days, 100 days old. It helps us understand. It's not going to say that they're going to use those for any part of the value. Just helps him wrap his mind around the whole thing. Everything we do is trying to pull data and information to help us determine what best value or opinion of value is placed on that. And all of that is a little evidence and information that helps.
Is there a place on the appraisal for you to show like how many offers came in on a property?
That's the thing. No, there's not a place for me to say, hey, this one came in at X, this one came in at X, the one that X offered, that it was accepted and the contract it is right now is this. There's not a place to put that on there. So no, but like I said, it helps guide the appraiser and helps him grasp all the information, you know, and like I said, for me, I try and take as much information as I can from anybody. Right or wrong, information is information. When we get back to start writing the appraisal, we determine which one most applies to our subject. After we've done the inspection, after we've driven the comparables, we start applying things in there and start writing the report.
So it'd be fair to say that it can then affect value?
On that side, I don't want to say it would affect value. It would affect the appraiser. It helps him get an idea of the market, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So can you use, when you're doing an appraisal, can you use active or pending as comps?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, you know, when you do an appraisal, you'll have anywhere from 3 to 6 or more sold comps. And you could have anywhere from 1 to 4 active and pending properties that are in the appraisal. all that does is helps, once again, we're trying to grasp the current market and help define the market within our subject's neighborhood. All of those help. They don't carry as much weight, as far as I'm concerned. They don't carry as much weight as a sold comparable, because a sold comparable is a definitive number. An active listing, that's kind of an open number. A pending, that's still open because we don't know the exact number, but it is eventually can become a comparable, but it shows that a house listed at that price sold somewhere within there, usually within 3 to 5%. So they just don't carry as much weight, but absolutely they do go in the report. Some people actually require, some AMCs require it.
Okay. So let me ask you another question. I've seen it on some of our properties from time to time. Let's say a neighborhood is typically, the homes in that neighborhood seem to be going between the $600,000 and $750,000 mark, that sort of thing. And then you have this one house that's just on, it's just bigger. Maybe it's on a bigger set of property, it's a bigger house or whatever. So that house is gone for $975,000. I mean, it just seems like that one out of the thing. Is that something that's going to appraise for it, or is that kind of like just overbuilt for the neighborhood? I've heard that phrase before.
Now you keyed out on two things there. Yes, you can have what's called an over improvement, but that's what you just described, the scenario. That's not uncommon. I see it, I don't see it a lot, but I see it quite often. And absolutely not. Usually you'll have more higher bedroom count, higher bathroom count. The same person that's going to look at a 3-bedroom is not the same family or same person that's going to look at a 5-bedroom. Usually yours has higher square footage, higher bedroom count. And so all we do is I don't compare it to the houses around it. So if you're in a neighborhood, 6 to 700,000, you've got a house that, sold a couple years ago for 800,000 just because it was bigger still then. And we know it's pushing up to 900. We try and find homes that are similar to that. Not the houses here that are all 3 bedrooms, but we expand our radius just a little bit and try and find homes that are more comparable in size, bedroom count. And so we just find homes more similar. That doesn't mean we're trying to reach for higher value. We're trying to find homes with similar aspects to that property. So no, it's not going to limit it. Sometimes you do have a highest price home in a neighborhood, but that's only true if it's the same as everything around there. When you have a house that's bigger, bedroom count, square footage, lot size, different aspects, it changes the house. It's not the same as some of them. And it might even be the neighbor, but that will not limit it. So no, we do try and find most comparable. We expand out trying to find that. To give you a perfect example, there's a neighborhood right by me and it's called Tallman. It's all pretty much custom built homes. When that Tallman started about 6 years ago, the first house in there was a castle, huge home. And they had what's called an appraisal committee saying that the only homes that can come in here have to be 4,000. I'm just being loose here with my numbers, but 4,000 square footage. Nobody moved into that neighborhood in like 4 years. It was the only house in there. Somebody else bought this subdivision. He changed the guidelines. Instead of being 4,000, he says anybody can come in at 3,000. So guess what? That one house, still there today, is the only one that's at 5,000. Everything else around it is at about 3,000 to 4,000 square foot. And it's the exact scenario you said. They're 600 to 700. It's actually about 1.1 million. Now, that doesn't mean he's out of place, because just on the other side of the creek, literally 300 yards, they've started building newer homes now that are similar to this. It is a little bit older, it's my 10 years older, and those are within a year or two, but those are his comps now. Not the ones that are around him, but the comps there, because he's so much bigger and grander. He's not limited by those ones around him.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Those smaller houses, it is possible to, so a 3.2 to another 3.2, it is possible to upgrade those outside of the market.
Correct.
Like to upgrade those. How does that affect the comps?
Say that one more time. Ask me that question again.
So let's say you're in a neighborhood where most of the people are putting in Corian countertops and regular cabinets and regular bathrooms, and someone goes in and then all of a sudden just upgrades everything to granite and marble and really kind of overbuilds on that type of thing. How does that kind of affect the comps on that particular property?
Absolutely. Now you keyed in on the question on the answer on the last question about over improvement. That does happen, and a silly analogy would be as if someone was to put a gold sink. Sink was $40,000, but they put that gold sink in their bathroom. They want to come to me and they say, hey, we put a gold $40,000 sink in our bathroom, should increase our house price by $40,000. Wrong. That's the definition of over improvement, because it's still just a sink. You know, it's nice, it looks good, but it's still just a sink. Now, when it comes back to what your question, your example of kind of going above and beyond, it increases the value. It does. You may not get the dollar for dollar value. So many people want to think that if I did my bathroom and kitchen for $50,000, price of my house goes up $50,000. It can happen. It's common that it does, but don't think that in your head that by doing that, it's going to increase it. You know, it could come up 60 cents on the dollar, where that 40,000 is only worth 30. So a lot of times, do your research on what's common in the area. Don't over improve, because you can overspend. Yeah, it's nice and it looks great. It might need to be great for the people that live there, but as far as the investment side, you're not getting your money out of what you're putting into it. Basements are very similar to that. A lot of people want to come in and they'll ask me, hey, we're thinking about doing our basement. We got a quote, $75,000 to do the basement. Is that going to increase the house price by $75,000? No, it won't.
Right.
Me as an appraiser, I share with people, if that's something you're looking to do it based upon the fact that you need it. You want a theater room. You need an additional bedroom because mom and dad might be coming to live with us. Do it because you're going to benefit, not because you see a benefit down the road. It will increase value. It probably won't be the $75,000, but it will increase. So don't do it under the pretense that you're going to sell it. It's like, you know, it's like putting a new paint in the house. It's going to make it look nicer. It does, but not to what it's going to cost. You know, usually basements are 50 to 60 cents on the dollar.
Fair enough. But I think sometimes from a realtor perspective, it's kind of tough when you're trying to tell a seller that.
Absolutely.
Just dumped all that money into
Why
it.
not?
Yeah,
Why not? It looks nice. Well, you got to kind of pull it in a little bit.
Right.